Now you know what is the difference between traditional functions with names and anonymous function expressions. Notice that function expressions are always anonymous because they don't have any name. Okay, great. Now it's time to practice with anonymous function expressions. And in the first example, we will simply try to declare function expression and see what we will get in the console. Example 1. Try to declare function expression. Okay, let's simply write following: function, then parentheses, because function expression doesn't have any name, and then body of the function. So simple like this. And let's save and see what we will get here in the console. We will get syntax error, unexpected token, opening parent. Let me copy this error and paste here. It means that you are not able to use function expression standalone. And that is the first difference between regular functions and function expressions. You immediately will get syntax error, because there is no such term as declaration of the function expression. That's why I have put here word declare in double quotes. Let me add here a comment before this function, and I will write: it is not possible to use function expression standalone. Okay, let me comment out this example and let's move on to the next one. And in the next example, we will try to assign function expression to the variable. Example 2. Assign function expression to the variable. Okay, let's declare a variable, and usually if you want to assign anonymous function expression to the variable, you should use const, because you are not going to reassign value of this variable. So let's declare a variable called myFunction. It will be equal to function expression, function keyword, then parentheses, and here body of the function. Add semicolon here, because now here is the statement: we assign this value to the variable myFunction. Let's save this, we will not get any error, and now here below we can try to call myFunction and parentheses. Let's save. Again nothing, because by default this function will return undefined. Here we get undefined, but nothing is printed to the console because there is no console log statement. We can wrap up this function call into the console.log function call like this. Let's save, and now I get undefined. But how do you think? What we will get in the console if we will simply log to the console myFunction? Let's try that. Console.log myFunction. Let's save, and here I actually get contents of the myFunction variable, and it holds anonymous function expression as a value, and that's what I get here on this line. Let me copy this, paste here as a comment, and let me copy undefined and paste here. Okay, that's what happens when you assign anonymous function expression to the variable. And there is nothing strange. In fact, now myFunction holds function as a value, and you are able to call this variable like this. Okay, great. Let's comment out this example and let's move on to the next one. In the next example, we will look at the most common use case of the anonymous function expressions. And that is the case when you call another function using function expression as an argument. Okay, example 3. Let's call it callback function. And let's use setTimeout function. setTimeout is a built-in function. Let's try to find it here in the console, and I will look for it in following way. I will simply type window. Remember that window is a global object in each browser. Enter. And expand this object here. Let's make it larger. And let's try to find setTimeout here. Let me scroll down. it should be somewhere here. Yes, here it is, setTimeout. And you see here that setTimeout is one of the methods of the global object window. And this property, setTimeout, holds a function as a value. That's why this property is called method. And if there is a method attached to the global object window, you can easily call it directly here in your code. Let's do that. Let me minify this and let me clear console. And here let's directly call setTimeout method. Parentheses. And here you see that you should call this setTimeout function at least with one argument. And this argument is called handler. But in fact it is a callback function, and here you can pass either regular function with a name or anonymous function expression without name. Actually, we don't need named function in such cases, and that's why function expressions are mostly used here. So, let's pass function expression as first argument, and as a second argument we will pass number, and this number specifies timeout in milliseconds. Okay, let's suppose that we want simply log to the console something in 1 second. Let's do that. Function, parentheses. This function will not have any parameters, simply empty parentheses, then body of the function, and here inside of the body of the function, let's log to the console delayed message, like this. And here you see first argument till this closing curly brace, and here we add comma and add 1000. And this second argument specifies timeout in milliseconds. And here you see that this second argument is underlined here. Okay, let's now try to save and see what we will get in the console. And here it is. We got delayed message in 1 second. If I will change this value to, for example, 3000 milliseconds, let's save, I will see this message later on. Here it is. It means that this outer function setTimeout calls automatically this inner function in 3 seconds. But what if I will change this function expression to the named function? Let's try that. Function, my function, and everything else will remain unchanged. Let's save this, count till 3, and here it is. It means that you can pass here named function, but it doesn't have much sense, and that's why usually anonymous function expressions are used here instead. Let me delete this name of the function and save. Okay, let's now try one more built-in function in action, and it will be setInterval function. Let me comment out this example, and let's do that in the next example. Let's save, and here will be example 4, again callback function. Example 2. And here let's use setInterval. Again, let's try to access window. And here let's scroll down to setInterval, and here it is. It is also a function, and this setInterval is one of the methods of the global object window, same as setTimeout. Okay, let's minify this and let's try to call this setInterval method. setInterval, parentheses, and here you also see same arguments as for setTimeout, handler and timeout. Let's call it with same arguments as before. Function, parentheses, here will be console.log message logged each 1 second. And here let's add second argument, comma, and let's add here 1000. Let's now save this and see what we will get here in the console. Let's save this, and here in the console you will see that same message is logged to the console each single second. And here you will see this incrementing counter. But in order to see that in fact those messages are different, let's log different messages each single second. In order to do that, let's add variable here and let's declare it here above. Let's use let and let's call this variable I and assign initial value to it 1, like this. And here inside of this function, let's increment value of this variable. I forgot here semicolon, and here let's do following. I equals sign I plus 1. And inside of this console log message here, let's add this variable. I will simply use plus operator and add here I, like this. Add here space, let's save, and now here in the console you will see different messages. Message logged each 1 second, 3, 4, 6, and so on. It means that setInterval allows you to perform same action on the recurring basics. Okay, great. Now I hope that it is clear what is the callback function and how it works. We have tried two built-in functions such as setInterval and setTimeout. And next you will get challenge for you. And in the challenge you will need to combine two those methods, setInterval, setTimeout, and one more method, clearInterval. Task for the challenge comes next. See you! Thank you for watching. This video lecture is part of the JavaScript Bible course, and link to the full-length course is now here. This course includes more than 35 hours of content, and it covers everything that you need to know about JavaScript. So if you want to become an expert in JavaScript, please consider enrolling to this course. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Also, please consider subscribing to this channel. See you in the next videos. Bye!